We're here because your heightened awareness deserves heightened entertainment. The Last Show with David Cooper.
It's spooky, scary Halloween, and what more than bats represent the season? Okay, maybe pumpkins, but bats are a big part of it. A lot of us are scared of them, but bats actually help our ecological landscape. Bats help human health. So we're going to find out what the benefits of these creatures are here with Eyal Frank, an environmental economist at the University of Chicago. Eyal, welcome to the program.
Thank you so much for having me.
We also have amateur bat biologist with no accreditation, Tony Five, here from London, England, to discuss this topic as well. Tony, welcome to the show.
Technically, I am the London Batman, David, Professor Batman, as it were, but I will not take any of the qualifications from our esteemed guest.
All right, Eyal, for those who are scared of bats, who think they should all be exterminated, who think they're going to fly in their face and murder them, those people are all me. What do you say? How do you try to convince someone who's terrified of bats that these creatures actually benefit us a lot?
Well, first, I think we should just appreciate the fact that out of the 6,000 or so species of mammals that we know about 1,000 to 1,200 of them are bats. We have so many bat species, and we can think of bats as helping us either through pollination, so just giant bees, or by eating a lot of insects. There are different bat species. Some will be pollinators, some will be eating insects. The bats that we have in North America predominantly eat a lot of insects. And by doing so, they're essentially providing us with this massive source of free biological pest control, which means that farmers can use less insecticides. And we should love that because insecticides are toxic compounds, and using less of that means that the environment is safer for us.
So already more bats around me, the food that we eat is healthier.
Exactly. The food and the environment that you live in is healthier.
Okay, so one immediate benefit of bats, healthier food, less pesticides. I think we can all get behind that. There's some research that shows that bat populations, when they're there and they haven't collapsed, infant mortality is in a better shape. Can you walk me through how that works?
Definitely.
Is it because bats don't eat the children?
That too. They don't fly away with them back to the cave.
Okay, good. Carry on. That's just my bit.
But essentially that entire idea or prediction that both ecologists have had and environmental economists would agree with, that bats are important. They're a source of pest control. If their populations were to decline for whatever reason, then farmers are not just going to sit there and take the fact that there's now more, pests on their fields. They're going to do something about it. And that's going to mean using more pesticides, specifically insecticides. So the idea in environmental economics is that the environment has deteriorated and some natural input has declined. Not a big deal. Let's just compensate with some human-made substitute and everything will be kind of even at the end. That works unless, of course, the thing that we're substituting with comes with some other negative impact, like insecticides and high level of chemical pollution, potentially being dangerous for human health. What happened in the United States starting in 2006 was that this invasive fungus species started spreading around, causing a wildlife disease known as white nose syndrome. To keep it short, basically the disease causes bats to wake up prematurely during the winter while they should be hibernating, and spells out almost certain death for the bats that suffer that. Death rates anywhere between 70 to 100%, collapses of entire bat colonies. Millions of bats are estimated to have died as a result of this invasive fungus species. And that has meant that there are counties in the United States where farmers have potentially observed more pests on their fields and have compensated, as I show in my research, by using more insecticides. And in the places that have experienced those bat die-offs, I also managed to show that there's an increase in human infant mortality.
Good Lord. But I believe there would be a population increase because if there's lots of bats outside, the farmers will go in with their farmers' wives and they'll have a little quiet quality time. Hence, there's more children. Population goes up. Now, you can add that to your research. You can cite me with it later.
Are you saying that if there's more bats, the farmers will be scared, they'll go inside and then have more children? Tony, I'm confused. You don't have any accreditation in bat research. White nose syndrome. Does it actually turn the bats...
I knew you were going to say that. I want white nose syndrome.
Does it turn their noses white? Does it kill them? And like, how can we help bats?
That's a great question. So the name of this disease comes from the fact that there are these clusters of flakes on the nose of the bats that where the fungus is growing that make the bat look like it has a white nose. And when I presented the research and showed a photo of a bat, I said, this is not a bat with a substance abuse problem. This is the invasive fungus growing on its nose and then spreading on its skin, disturbing it and causing them to wake up during winter.
Wow, a crack addict bat. Brilliant.
How can we help these bats? How can we restore their populations? How can we fight this fungus? Oh, I like the way that sounds, fight the fungus.
Yeah, so there's a big task force of different wildlife agencies at the state level and federal agencies known as the White Nose Syndrome Task Force. Their job is to kind of just first understand and document what's happening to bats, to really understand how the fungus affects them, and then to start to think about some potential solutions. So the first thing that they did was just to limit the spread. If you go to caves around New England, and unfortunately now further south and further west, including in Washington and in California, when you try to enter one of these caves, you might have to go through this like foam, just like a carpet of foam to clean your shoes on your way in and on your way out to make sure that you're not spreading the spores of the fungus and introducing it to another cave. So just like, we all remember flatten the curve from like COVID days, same principle here, just like slow the spread of the fungus until we have a game plan. Fortunately, in recent years, there have been some very successful pilots with developing a vaccine for bats. How to then administer that to anywhere between like 500 million to 1 billion bats in North America is a fantastic question that I hope someone is figuring out right now.
I think Tony could probably figure out that one in about 5 minutes. That seems like an easy one.
I mean, I'm so sorry to interrupt you. Can you just tell me what that task force is called again? The White Nose, what?
White Nose Syndrome Task Force.
Yeah.
Right. They need a t-shirt, David.
It is a cool name.
And I want to be sponsored by them. That sounds amazing. I want to be part of the White Nose Syndrome Task Force. That's all I want now.
All you have to do, Tony, is figure out how to give 1 billion bats a vaccine, which seems like a very easy task. We could figure that out in an afternoon, right, Eyal?
Surely.
I'll do that tonight. Yeah, I'll get back to you tomorrow, okay?
Some of the crazier ideas have been to sending drones with like UV lights into the caves because the fungus is really sensitive to UV radiation. So that's kind of like cool science fiction, but not so fiction anymore.
Okay, so one option is killing the fungus with drones. The other is, how would you even begin to inoculate a population of 1 billion?
Oh, could you not put it in their food or something, like a food source, so it's spread, or in their areas where they technically tend to hibernate, or where they roam and feed? Maybe putting a substance in that will kill the fungus.
So you can deliver it through food. There's also been a program of trying to fatten up bats in preparation for winter, so that in case they wake up during winter, they have enough fat reserves to survive the end of winter. So there have been these like feeding centers, and you can use those feeding centers now as a way to maybe introduce the vaccine into the population. What is also potentially helpful with bats, they're very social animals. So they kind of like live together and rub off each other, which helps the fungus spread. But if you like have a topical treatment, that could help as well.
Well, Eyal, thanks for joining us and telling us about bats and why we shouldn't hate them and fear them.
Absolutely fantastic. But if you're going to make the bats fat, I'm going to invest in Monjaro for bats.
I don't know what that is.
Wegovy for bats.
I still don't know. What is this, some sort of British thing?
No, it's that injection, that fat loss injection. What do you guys call it over there?
Oh, Ozempic.
There you go. Ozempic for bats.
There you go. Well, thanks, Eyal. Thanks for talking to us about bats and your infinite patience of being on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Tony Five is our foreign correspondent in London, England, and Eyal Frank is an environmental economist at the University of Chicago.